So you'll probably have your puppy home and you'll have his nice comfy bed and crate and everything set up. But one of the biggest areas we need to discuss is walking equipment. Everyone will have heard of a collar and a harness, and most of you will have bought a collar and a harness for your puppy. But have you got the right one? We need to make sure that you're on the right track with your puppy. When you bring your puppy home, it's okay to get a nice little soft harness like this, or a nice little soft collar and lead set like this. They'll do you for a few weeks to get your puppy used to it. When you first bring your puppy home, they probably won't be used to wearing a harness or a collar, and the sensation of wearing something around their neck or on their body will be completely novel to them. So it's really important you get them used to it slowly. It's important that when you put your harness or collar on, that you're rewarding them, you're nice and calm, they're nice and calm, and you're getting them used to it without just yanking them about on a collar or a harness or taking them outside. So it's really important that you go nice and slow with them and you shape them to actually enjoy wearing their equipment. Collars, most of you will be familiar with collars. Collars have been out since the beginning of time. And you get a few different kinds of collars. So you get one with a clip like this, and one with a buckle. If you're doing the one with a clip, try and get them used to that noise, because that can be sometimes quite aversive when that's in their ear. So get them used to that clipping noise first, and make sure that's paired with a treat. When you're trying it on, make sure that the collar is snug, but not too tight. You want to be able to get your fingers in here and be able to move it around, but you don't want them to get it over their heads. There's also different kinds of collars like half checks, check chains, choke collars, prong collars. These are not anything we would recommend for use of your puppy. We wouldn't recommend prong collars to any dog. Certainly not your choke chains or your half checks either. Another option, instead of wearing a collar or as well as wearing a collar, would be to wear a harness. Not all harnesses are created equally. You need to get a really good fitting harness. So this kind of harness is absolutely fine, as we said, for a puppy. Nice and soft and light, and it gets them used to wearing it. When they get a bit bigger and a bit stronger, what we want is a nice fitting harness like this one. So we want a nice chest plate like this and a nice little bit in the back for the lead. This one has 2 points of contact, which is great because it can adapt to your training. You want to be able to tighten it at the neck and at the waist to make sure it fits really, really well. This is a really popular style of harness. However, this bit here, as you can see, goes across their chest. When the dog moves, it really restricts their shoulders and their movement here, which can cause a lot of problems. So we don't recommend one like this for your puppy. A harness like this can also be used in the car as a car safety harness if you get a good one, and you can attach a little seatbelt attachment to it too. By law, your dog has to wear a tag on their collar. Your tag should have your name, address, and preferably a telephone number as well. Most people do not put their dog's name on the collar because it then will allow any dog nappers to bond with your dog. For safety, just try and have your own address, your own name, your surname, and your telephone number. Another piece of equipment that's quite popular is a head collar like this. So a head collar is fitted over your dog's nose and clipped around the back of their head. And then this bit here is used to control their head. We wouldn't recommend this for a puppy because there's so many other ways that you can gain a nice walk with your puppy without using this, because it can be quite an aversive tool. It can also cause some strain on your puppy's neck. Obviously, if needs be, if your dog's far too strong or you've got an injury, these are great for emergency purposes, but as a maintenance tool, as an everyday tool, we wouldn't recommend them. Regardless of whether you've chosen a collar or a harness, you're going to have to use a lead. Our preferred lead would be a lead like this, which is a training lead. It has 2 ends, and you can make it whatever length you want, and it can adjust to whatever training style you're doing. You can use a flat lead as well, as long as you know the length of the lead. It's absolutely perfect. We do not recommend leads like this, which are retractable leads, for many reasons. You don't have full control over your dog, so if you've not got the safety clip on or that breaks, your dog could be out in the middle of the road, it could be out greeting other dogs, greeting other people that don't want to see them. You are obviously not in full control of this because this mechanism here can break or snap. And also, your dog is learning that pulling you is what's getting them ahead. So they're not learning the length of their lead because this lead goes on for like 5 meters. There's also slip leads. You'll have seen this for a lot of gun dog training. Slip leads are great for emergencies. I would always have one in the car with me or on me just in case your dog gets away, or a dog gets away and you find a stray dog, because you can slip lead them really quickly. Or if your dog's injured and it's not letting you anywhere near them, you can obviously kind of lasso them with this. If you're going to be using a slip lead at all for emergencies, please make sure you're using it right. So it should be like this and not down like this. So the purpose of a slip lead goes around your dog's neck and you pull, so it restricts. So you can see here with this little model that her neck is being restricted. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on her trachea, on her throat, and on her thyroid glands. Using this type of leader collar over a prolonged space of time will negatively impact your dog. Another great piece of equipment to have is a long line. So you can get them in all different sizes, and these are brilliant. These are great for recall. They're great for while your dog's not allowed off lead yet but wants a bit more freedom. It's a great alternative to a retractable lead.